On the morning of her own wedding, a young detective is told her brother has been taken. To save him, she must walk away from the man she loves, chase a killer across an island, and face the one mind as sharp as her own. Nothing here is an accident. Someone has planned every single step for her, and the prize at the end is a fortune soaked in blood. Our story opens with Enola Holmes on the happiest and most terrifying day of her life. She is about to marry Tewkesbury, the young lord who adores her. But she is having doubts, and they are not about him. Her worry is the name. For years, Enola fought to be seen as a true Holmes, a detective who solves her own cases. Now she is being asked to give that name up and become simply a lady. A wise voice once told her there are two paths in life: your own, or the one that others choose for you. So she is late to her own wedding, riding hard through the countryside. A rider chases the coach, and she is certain it is a killer. She climbs out to fight him off, only to find it is the family friend, the good Dr. Watson. He has not come with wedding wishes. He has come with terrible news. Sherlock, the greatest detective alive, is missing. And the doctor is almost sure of the worst. Enola's brother has been kidnapped. To understand how, we go back a little. Life had been good. Tewkesbury fought to change the world for the better, and Enola had finally taken her place beside the great detectives of the age. He helped people with money, she helped people in need, and now and then they worked side by side. The best moments were the quiet ones, just the two of them, away from every watching eye. It was on one of those days that Tewkesbury asked her to marry him. She said yes without a second of doubt. For once in her life, she was simply happy. There was only one shadow. Sherlock had grown strange and distant, buried in maps and symbols he would not explain. Enola could not understand why her own brother was shutting her out, hiding whatever case had swallowed him whole. She told herself it was just his way. She would soon wish she had asked more. The wedding itself was moved to the island of Malta. It was the mother of the groom who chose it, a way to honor his late father, who had served and married there. Strangely, Sherlock seemed to know about Malta before Enola did, and it troubled him deeply. At the wedding banquet, a general rose to toast the couple. His words carried a quiet insult, mocking the idea that a great lord would ever marry a woman like her. Enola smiled through it, but the room had shown her its true face. Later that night came the real wound. Sherlock found her, and instead of comfort, he gave her scorn. He told her that marriage would cost her everything. Her name, her standing, her mind. He said she was better than this. He said she was a Holmes. Enola fired back that the name meant nothing to her anymore. Her father was dead, her mother a ghost, and if this was how her brother chose to love her, she would rather lose the name forever. She called him a pig and walked out. That was the last time she saw him. Now, on the island, Enola steps into her brother's room and reads it like a page. It has been torn apart, yet his clothes lie untouched, which means whoever did this knew him well. The bed is still warm. He was taken only hours ago. Then she sees it. Faint marks scratched on the mirror. Not the mess of a struggle, but Morse code, left by a man being dragged away. One word rises out of it. Coast, a city far away in Afghanistan. It makes no sense yet, but it is a thread, and Enola knows her mother's rule. When you find a loose thread, you pull. She takes his notebooks too, every page locked in his private code. She was raised on the very same ciphers, so slowly, patiently, she begins to break them open, hunting for whatever her brother knew that got him taken. But chasing the truth means leaving, and Tewkesbury still waits at the altar. When they finally speak, the hurt is written all over his face. He has seen her doubts for a long time. Gently, sadly, he lets her go and wishes her luck in finding her brother. The wedding is over before it ever began. Alone with her, Tewkesbury shows her a place from his childhood, a cave by the sea where his father once swore treasure was hidden. Every summer as a boy he begged to go inside with a match, certain they would find a chest of gold. Those were the happiest days of his life. Enola does not yet know how much that little story will matter. Things only get worse. The mother of the groom is taken as well, snatched from her room in the night. and a fire is set at the hotel. Enola sees straight through it. The kidnapper was searching for something, could not find it, and burned everything so that no one else could either. Frightened and stuck, Enola turns to the doctor and asks what her brother would do. He cannot answer as Sherlock would, but he offers something better. Sherlock has always believed her mind is the equal of his own. Now she must believe it too. Though she sits and she thinks like a Holmes. In the mother's room, she finds a set of old war medals. At first, they look like nothing more than a wedding gift. But one of them stops her cold. It is the very same medal she saw on a soldier at the banquet, and it points straight back to that faraway city. Ghost. The word from the mirror was not random. It was the shape of the whole case. A stranger has been shadowing her, and now he steps forward, a Maltese man who dreams of freeing his island from British rule. He hands her a name for the person behind it all. Professor Adeline Wraith, a woman who appeared a year ago and now whispers in the ear of the island's governor. Wraith. The dead man's word was a name all along. When soldiers try to arrest Enola for a body she found, the governor himself steps in and sets her free, praising her a little too warmly. It is kind and it is wrong. Why is such a powerful man so eager to stop her asking questions? Every helping hand on this island seems to be hiding something. The trail leads into a roaring street carnival. Enola chases a frightened woman through the crowd, begging her for the truth. The woman can only gasp that she will be killed, and moments later she is. And at last, the mind behind the name steps into the light. It is Professor Moriarty. Clever, patient, and utterly without mercy, the one criminal whose brain matches Sherlock's own. She has been hiding in plain sight, listening to everyone, playing them all like a private game. And she is the one holding Enola's brother. Moriarty admits it without shame. She keeps Sherlock simply because it pleases her, hiding him in the new tunnels being dug beneath the city. With all those newspaper notices, she says, the wedding practically mailed her an invitation. She has come to tear Enola's family apart, and she is only just beginning. Just as Moriarty closes in, another figure fights her off. It is Enola's mother, the wanted revolutionary, who slipped onto the island in secret only to watch her daughter marry. Their reunion is prickly and warm at the same time. But Enola has no time to be angry now. There is far too much work to do. Before she vanishes, her mother leaves her the key. Moriarty has the same brilliant brain as Sherlock. She warns, so look at what is right in front of you and then look behind it. The puzzle is always as clever as the person who built it. And one comfort above all, Sherlock is still alive. In the quiet that follows, Enola and Tewkesbury find their way back to one another. He tells her he never wanted to trap her in a marriage. He only ever wanted her. When she said yes to him, before the whole world crowded in with rules about who she was supposed to be. The doubt was never about him. Why are you so good to me, she asks. Because I am choosing to be, he answers. You are all I have, Enola, and I am not going to lose you. For one stolen afternoon, they swim in the sea and let the danger fall away. Whatever comes next, they will face it together. Meanwhile, in her hidden lair, Moriarty toys with her prisoner. She dares Sherlock to guess her plan, and piece by piece he does. She came to the island a year ago, freed early from prison by someone powerful. She pulled the strings that dragged the wedding here. Every move so far has been hers. Their duel is not only of wits but of belief. Her anger, Moriarty says, is with hypocrisy, with the powerful who steal in fine clothes and are never punished. It is a twisted kind of honesty, and it makes her all the more dangerous. Yet even Sherlock cannot yet see the true prize she is chasing. Enola finds the missing shape. The woman who died at the carnival was no soldier, but a spy dressed up to move through high society. And just before she died, she was speaking with two men. One was the governor. The other wore a war medal from the Battle of Coast. He is Tewkesbury's own godfather, an old general who once fought beside his father. To reach the general's secrets, the team has to be devious, exactly as Moriarty would be. Enola's mother leads a daring bluff into the military records room, playing the grand lady to talk them past the guards. Inside, they hunt for anything tied to Coast and that long-forgotten war. The papers have been torn, but Enola traces the marks pressed into the page beneath. The truth rises up, and it is ugly. In the Battle of Coast, British soldiers took a full ton of gold from a sacred shrine. Innocent people died. The records called it a cleansing. It was nothing but theft. Cornered, the old general confesses everything. The gold was carried in secret to Malta. But Tewkesbury's father could not live with the crime. He sank the ship, claimed the gold was lost at sea, and hid it away. Then, to save their careers, the officers blamed the local Maltese soldiers and let innocent men take the fall for it. The general tries to call it the price of empire, advanced reparations. Tewkesbury calls it what it truly is: murder and theft wrapped up in a flag. "We are all maids," the old man says quietly, but in the end, the truth makes us in turn. Then comes the blow that lands hardest of all, straight on Tewkesbury. The whole operation, the theft, the killing, the lie, was led by his own father. The man he had grown up worshipping as a hero. The general can offer him only this: a son does not have to walk his father's road. And now every piece snaps into place. The hidden gold lies in that cave by the sea, the pirate treasure of Tewkesbury's childhood. Moriarty wants revenge on the family, yes, but she wants the gold far more. She could never find it herself, so she built a trap instead. The whole nightmare was a hunt, with Enola as the hound. Take Sherlock, take the mother, set the fires, plant the clues. Only Tewkesbury could lead Enola to that cave, and only Enola could lead Moriarty to the gold. Every step of her grief had been drawn in advance on Moriarty's map. So Enola stops running the maze and starts to build one of her own. She walks into the cave and lets Moriarty follow her straight to the treasure. 20 boxes of stolen gold shining in the dark. Moriarty gloats about the blood on every great name, on empires built out of other people's pain. Then she refuses to hand Sherlock over, because of course she does. But this time Enola is the one a step ahead. "You are surrounded," she says. She has friends on this island too, the Maltese rebels, and they close in from every side with weapons raised. The trap has finally been sprung on the trapmaker herself. In the chaos, Enola races deeper into the cave, fighting through Moriarty's men to reach the prisoners. She finds her brother and the mother of the groom, bound and weak in the dark, and cuts them loose with shaking hands. After all the miles and all the fear, the two people she came to save are finally in front of her. For one long moment, the whole terrible game hangs in the balance. Then Sherlock stands over Moriarty with a blade in his hand, and the temptation is real. She taunts him, calling him cold, calling Enola too emotional, promising that if she lives, she will only come for them again and again and again. His hand begins to tremble. It is Enola who pulls him back. "This is not who we are," she tells him. "It is not what we believe in. To become killers now would be to let Moriarty win in the only way that truly matters." Sherlock looks at his sister for a long moment and lowers the blade. The same girl he once called too emotional has just saved him from himself. They choose to be better than their enemy. In the end, the great criminal is shipped back to Britain in chains, with no chance of escape. The stolen gold is carried home to Afghanistan, back to the people it was torn from. Tewkesbury uses the truth to expose the crime, and for the first time there is open talk that Malta itself might one day be free. The old general who confessed cannot live with the shame of it. "For Queen and country," he murmurs, and quietly takes his own life. The empire kept its secret, but that secret cost him everything he had. For Enola and Sherlock, the wound between them finally begins to heal. He admits he was wrong to belittle her. "She is a Holmes," he says, "but she is so much more than that. She might even be extraordinary." Two of the sharpest minds in the world, at last at peace with each other. And Tewkesbury makes his own quiet choice. He will not let Enola lose her name, so he gives up his title instead. No more lord, no more grand estate. Just a man who wants to stand beside her as an equal. She keeps her name, he sheds his, and the two of them meet in the middle. So Enola stands corrected on the very thing she said at the start. A good story does not begin with a wedding. It ends with one. Two people, no titles between them, choosing each other on their own terms. If you enjoyed this one, stay on the channel. There is always another mystery waiting just around the corner.